Hello there friends, Pokemon Sword and Shield has been out for a little over a week at this stage. I have completed the game, and while I work on my review, I thought I would give you a list of my 10 favourite Pokemon from the game. Because I think the highlight of this game is the new Pokemon. I think the vast majority of the new Pokemon designs are great. So actually narrowing it down to 10 was pretty hard. It was like, I had a good short list of like 20-25 that I wanted to include on this list, which I think speaks well to this generation of Pokemon. I think the designs are cool, the ideas are cool. This is mostly based on what they look like. I'll be perfectly honest. 95%, like the criteria for my list of the top 10 Pokemon in the Galar region is basically how cool they look. That's 95%, and then like 5% functional use. I'm a man who is easy to please. I'm all sizzle, no substance. That's all you need to know. Of course, there will be spoilers on this list. There is Pokemon on this list that have not been revealed before the game was out. So if you have not played the game and still want to go in unspoiled, you should probably skip this one. But if not, these are my top 10 Pokemon from Generation 8 from the Galar region from Pokemon Sword and Shield. Number 10. I'm very basic. I'm very easy to please. Just give me that generation's standard flying Pokemon. I'm like, yeah, I love it. Number 10 is Corviknight. And like, Corviknight has kind of a lot going against it because it's steel flying. It's basically a Skarmory. It's a Skarmory that has 2 previous evolutions. But nonetheless, Corviknight is cool. It's like a raven. It's a black raven Pokemon. It's a steel raven. What more do you want? It flies people all over the Galar region. It's like their taxi service. Traditionally, back in the old-timey days, they flew Corviknight from city to city. So they maintain that tradition, and Corviknight is the taxi service. Those poor Corviknight are put to great use. But I'm very simple. Just give me the generation flying Pokemon that Ash Ketchum is going to catch in the anime, and I'm a happy camper. But he does look really cool. Number 9, Grapploct, which is a Jiu-Jitsu Pokemon. I'm a big pro wrestling fan, even though this is Jiu-Jitsu, it's not technically pro wrestling. But this is an octopus that looks like it wants to fight people. What more do you want? It's a straight fighting type, which is interesting because it's an octopus. You'd think it would be fighting water, which I think would be a fun mix, but it's just plain old fighting. But its body is made up of muscle. Its whole body is just muscle. It's all muscle. It roams onto land to pick fights before going back to the sea. And look at it. It's one of its tentacles is set up to be like a belt. I love Grapploct. As I said, I would love it a little more if it was a fighting water type, but I will accept the Jiu-Jitsu Pokemon as it is. Number 8, and I love this Pokemon because it's just weird. Falinks, which is like a bunch of, I think it's meant to be bugs, because it does learn a bunch of bug moves, even though it is a plain fighting type, but it's a bunch of bugs that join together and form, like, it's basically a Wiggler. That's what I'm saying. It's a Wiggler Pokemon that fights things. It's a series of 6 bugs, one of which is like the leader, 5 of which are troopers that listen to the leader and they follow the leader's orders. And they work as one, teamwork. It's like the way they change their formation when they're attacking. I love this Pokemon. It's so weird, and so like it's relatively, it's about halfway through the game you catch it and it's like, what is this? Look at this weird thing. It's like a Falinks. It's like an army of soldiers, but into one Pokemon. Number 7. When looking at all of these starters and starter evolutions, I did not expect to land on Drizzile. Drizzile? I guess it's like Drizzle and Reptile mixed together, so I guess it's probably Drizzile. But I did not expect to land on Drizzile, because I love Sobble, because he's sad. I don't mind Sobble's final evolution, but Drizzile's like depressed emo. Like he goes from the sad phase of Sobble into the emo phase of Drizzile. And he forms water bubbles in his hands, which I love. Anytime he does a water move, you can see the bubbles form in his hands. He forms like water balloons and throws them at the opponent, which is great. And apparently, according to his Pokemon Shield Pokedex entry, he is highly intelligent, but also very lazy. Which of course I relate to, as a very smart boy who is extraordinarily lazy. And modest as well. I didn't expect to land on Drizzile. I was like, look at this guy. When he evolved, I was like, I'm uncertain of you. And then by the time he evolved again, I'm like, I will miss you, Drizzile. I like you a lot. I'm gonna breed him and just slap an Everstone on him after he evolves and raise a Drizzile. Drizzile for life. Number 6. I'm almost upset that I didn't record my reaction to this Pokemon, because Skwovet was not revealed in the marketing, which is the best thing about this game. How few of these Pokemon were revealed in the marketing is the best thing about this game. but Skwovet was not revealed in the marketing, and he's very early in the game. You see him in the first forest. So it's like, I ran into an encounter with him, and I was like, what the hell is that? Look at him! Look at his big, dumb, wonderful, chubby cheeks. If you read the Pokédex entry, his cheeks are that chubby because they're full of berries. It's wonderful. It's amazing. I love it so much. I'm so disappointed. The thing it evolves into is just kind of like, it's not great. Redent, it's fine, but it's not nearly as good as Skwovet. Skwovet is the delight. Just that design. That design made me so happy. It eats berries non-stop, a habit that has made it more resilient than it looks. It shows up on farms and just raids the berries. I assume Skwovet is a combination of squirrel and covet, because it covets berries and it's a squirrel. It's a cheeky Pokemon by designation. It becomes uneasy if its cheeks are ever empty because it likes its berries. I love Skwovet so much. Oh, Skwovet's the best. Number 5, the mascot of this game in many ways. Fair enough, he's not on the box, but Wooloo are all over this world. They're all over the story. They're even in the closing credits at one stage, I think. Wooloo is basically the mascot of Pokemon Sword and Shield, and for a good reason. He's adorable. Wooloo is the most adorable thing on earth. Wooloo also suffers from a mediocre evolution. Dubwool, not nearly as good as Wooloo, but Wooloo is so cute. It goes tumbling around all over the place. In the first 10 minutes of this game, there's a Wooloo that just bounces its head off a fence because it wants to get past the fence, and it's hilarious. Its fleece is apparently such an effective cushion that you could fall off a cliff, bounce on it, and stand right back up. It's like a trampoline. Number 4, one of the most ridiculous Pokemon I've ever seen in my life. And again, a Pokemon that when it evolved, I was very dubious about, but then grew to love more and more. Flapple. It is a dragon grass type, which is like crazy wacky typing. But also, it's an apple dragon. It's an apple that evolves into a dragon after eating a tart apple, a sour apple, and it evolves into a dragon, and it looks ridiculous. It hatches. It's like an egg that hatches into a dragon. It's stupid, and I love it. I'm not even sure it's not even a particularly good Pokemon. It's not bulky or anything. It goes down pretty easy. It's an apple dragon. I like ridiculous Pokemon. People are like, oh, Klefki, it's a key. Or the ice cream Pokemon. It's like, no, give me more of that. All of that is wonderful and ridiculous and stupid and great. Apple dragons. Number 3, Zacian, who I think is my favorite legendary Pokemon since Gen 2? I haven't been super duper into a lot of the legendaries in a very long time. Maybe the legendary dog equivalents in Gen 5. I liked them, Terrakion and the other 2, whose names I don't remember off the top of my head, so clearly I don't like them that much. But yeah, a lot of the recent legendaries, they just look like weird dragons or just stuff that doesn't look like actual creatures. And then you get these guys, the 2 dogs, Zamazenta and Zacian. Zamazenta is pretty good, but Zacian is a sword dog. With cool typing, Steel Fairy. He is the legendary hero of the Galar region. And it's a sword dog. I was gonna go deep into the design of Zacian, but God, it's a cool looking sword dog. And I like the lore of the world, the way the lore is built around those 2 Pokemon. It's a fun story to experience as you play through the game. Make more legendaries like this Pokemon come. Less of the weird looking, magical creatures that don't look like actual creatures, that don't look like actual things that exist, but are rather just kind of weird, godlike figures. Nah, less of that. More cool sword dogs. Number 2, and I will freely admit, this is I don't know, a good 65% based on the pun in the name alone. Poltegeist. Poltegeist is top tier pun. There's a lot of pun names. I think all of the names are pun names. Flapple is Flying Apple, or Skwovet, Squirrel and Covet, Drizzile, Drizzle, and Reptile. Falinks, Flanks, and Links, Grapploct, Grappling, and Octopus. There's on this list alone, all of these names are puns of some sort. But Poltegeist is top tier. That's as good as puns get. You don't get better than that. And there's full universe lore about Poltegeist that I adore. They're basically, I think it's something 1 in 10 of them are real, and the rest are counterfeit. And it's a cup Pokemon. It's basically a teapot that's possessed by a ghost. But apparently those ghosts possess a lot of fake teapots in the process. My Poltegeist is in fact fake. I do have, I caught 2 Sinistea, one of which was real, one of which is fake, and there's 2 different items to evolve them. This is a whole thing you'll discover when you play this game. But the fake one I had the item to evolve, and the real one I didn't. So I'm still waiting to evolve my real Sinistea into a real Poltegeist. But for now, I will deal with my fake Poltegeist. But like, it even tells you in the Pokedex description, and you think this is just like flavor text, because that's what the Pokedex description usually is. It's like a little world building, little lore about the Pokemon. But no, it's like, this species lives in antique teapots. Most pots are forgeries, but on rare occasions an authentic work is found. And that's actually a weird mechanic in the game. I love it. And Poltegeist, it looks adorable. It's just a straight ghost Pokemon. It's a black tea Pokemon, so it doesn't like milk in its tea. And Poltegeist, what a name. Whoever came up with that name should be given like an instant promotion. That is top tier. Like that is a world-class Pokemon name. When I originally thought about doing this list, I was like, oh, Yamper's definitely going to be on it. There's not a hope Yamper is not going to be on the list. Yamper is an adorable, cute electric dog, and what more could you want? Then Yamper evolved. And unlike Wooloo, and unlike Skwovet, who the evolutions kind of disappointed me a little, Boltund is legitimately one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. It's so cool. It's such a cool design. It's like such a clean, awesome looking Pokemon that I'm like, I love you. And I will die for you, Boltund. You are my favorite Pokemon. Maybe not favorite ever, but like, if I were to make a list of my top 10 favorite Pokemon right here, right now, in front of you, Boltund would be on it. Like, that's how much I like this Pokemon. And there's what, like 900 and something Pokemon? Have they gotten to 1,000 yet? I'm not sure. But there's like 900 and something Pokemon, and Boltund is one of my favorites. It's an electric dog who can apparently run non-stop for 3 days, which is very impressive. The current in its legs keeps it going for 3 days. What a Pokemon. As I said, I like Yamper a lot. There was like, Yamper's definitely going to be on the list. There's no way Yamper's not going to be on the list. And then Boltund just kicked Yamper off. If you're not evolving your Yamper, you're making a mistake, because Boltund is like the best Pokemon. So those are my top 10 favorite Pokemon from the Galar region. What are yours? Because, like, as I said, there's a lot of good Pokemon. There's a lot of Pokemon I left off this list. Like, Mr. Rhyme, phenomenal. Carkol, I love Carkol too. And Toxtricity, like an electric poison type, really cool. But yeah, let me know in the comments. What are your favorites? Who would make this list for you? On your left, here are 2 other videos, probably about Pokemon I haven't decided yet. But sure enjoyed them too. Thanks for watching.